if you check the program of events on our list, we have the Tongston Appreciation of Advisory Boards, patrons, partners, and sponsors and affiliates. So I wouldn't want to call my CEO twice, but he's in the best position to do this because he's the one that is, interacting with all these great people and great minds. So without any further ado, please let's appreciate the CEO Tongston's Group, Mr. Engineer Bello Tongo. Please let's appreciate him.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ola. And I think what I'll do, what's most effective is, because part of my speech or talk is to appreciate them, but I think as they are joining, or as they are coming to the venue, there is a special appreciation that we'll be handing to them. So as they come in, I'm going to be we'll be recognizing them accordingly, or as the time goes, or as they arrive. So let me just go into my talk, because as I said, I was also going to appreciate them. So first, I think let me stand on existing protocol, and which I think Mr. Ola has done, but he will continuously do. So my talk is actually supposed to be on entrepreneurial thinking as a way to achieve sustainable socio-economic development. I will talk a little about that because later on there's a broader session where I'm going to give Tongston's model and how we do achieve that sustainable socio-economic development and how you can also achieve that. So I'll leave that segment for later because I think it's important that we all understand where Tongston is coming from and also where we are right now. Because this is just the beginning. As much as we're just a little over 2 years old now in existence, there is a lot that we have planned and we are going to hopefully achieve with each of you that are here. So first, let me just say congratulations and thank you to first our families, our team, all the advisory board members, all our partners, and also all the clients that we've been serving for the past 2 years, as I said earlier, of our existence. It's simply because I need to do this because it's really been challenging, as you can imagine, setting up Tongston during COVID, during the period of COVID, and now bringing it forward to where we are right now. In the past 2 years, we've been really existing not just locally, but also globally. We've done so many teacher trainings, career and business advisory sessions for professionals, for young people. We've also existed in the media space, so to speak, where we have been invited to participate in so many events, so many TV, talk shows, radio shows, simply because we've sold the idea of Tongston. And this is something that if you are not going to take anything out of today, do take the message of entrepreneurial thinking because it's simply very, very much applicable to your personal life, to your professional life, and also to your public life. So I do appreciate all of who I've mentioned, families, advisory board members, team members, partners, and also all the clients we've served. Now, typically our parents, right? Some of us are parents here, but we've also experienced this in our own lives. They send us to private schools, private basic education here in Nigeria, simply because they want the best for us. They also send us to foreign higher education, so universities abroad in the UK and all of that. I was a beneficiary of this. They put me in the best private schools here in Nigeria, in primary school, secondary school, and then when I came to higher education, they sent me abroad to the UK to study. And the intention was that they wanted me to come back and serve my country, but also to serve myself and every other person that I care about. So upon coming back, around 2011, beginning of 2011 was when, after I've gotten all of those degrees and qualifications and experiences, I came back trying to get my first job. This was the moment where I watched my mother almost on the floor, begging the head of an agency to give me a job. And you can imagine the shock on my face, obviously, after all of the private school and foreign education. Why did I need my mother to beg somebody to give me a job? And the truth is that this is not just my story, but the story of many of us. The story of our children, and also many others that will come if we don't change what's going on right now in Africa, in Nigeria, and also in our states. And it's because of this that even though I studied civil engineering, I'm supposed to be in the construction field, I ventured into setting up Tongston. So, as much as I developed practical work experience for 5 years or so, and then eventually transitioned into education, the idea of Tongston was to basically achieve a situation in our communities in Africa where unemployment, underemployment, unemployability, and overdependence on government will be curbed, like at least to the minimal level. And this was what gave birth to Tongston. And what we did in order to achieve Tongston was to go through a six-year research period. As much as I was practicing my construction field, went through a 6-year period of development, research and development, to realize that entrepreneurial thinking is what really, if we put it at the heart of our personal, professional, and public life, that is what could potentially help us achieve that self-actualization of us really creating our own future and also our own growth and development. Now, in order to see how entrepreneurial thinking can achieve sustainable socio-economic development, it's best we define what entrepreneurial thinking is. For the past 1 week, all the speakers that are going to speak today, and also the ones speaking tomorrow and next tomorrow in the virtual session, they've all asked and they've all said that, look, I'm not entrepreneurial. Why are you inviting me to speak about this topic? So it became very clear to me that I think we need to redefine what entrepreneurial thinking is. Yes, of course, it sounds like entrepreneurship. It's simply because that's where the root word was derived from. So I will do my best to explain how we see entrepreneurial thinking or what it means to be entrepreneurial. Now, obviously, what's very clear and what people generally know is that entrepreneurship exists. Yes, of course, entrepreneurial thinking can lead to entrepreneurship, which let me define what entrepreneurial thinking as we see it is. It basically means building valuable products, building influential brands, and building profitable businesses for yourself and for other people. Now, for yourself is what we do understand, which is entrepreneurship. Where you go and set up your business and your company and all of that. You still need entrepreneurial thinking to be able to achieve that, right? But not everybody is going to be an entrepreneur or the head of an agency or owner of a company. It means majority of the population, which are people in employment, also will be basically left out, if at all we are saying entrepreneurial thinking or entrepreneurship is the way. Now let me address that category, which is the majority of people, which is the ones basically going into employment. Entrepreneurial thinking applies to them also. If I am working for, let me use a popular company like Google, for instance. If I'm working for Google and I'm applying entrepreneurial thinking, what it means is that I'm thinking like the owner of Google. So it means I'm thinking of the same 3 things. How can me existing in Google improve the value of their products and services? How can I improve the influence of the influence of Google in its market? How can I improve the profitability of Google in its industry? So this is what it means to be entrepreneurial as an employee, which the technical term for it is intrapreneurship, I-N-T-R-A, preneurship. So this, I feel I need to demystify or I guess redefine it for us, because it really, many people do think entrepreneurial thinking is only about entrepreneurship. As I said, yes, it can lead to entrepreneurship, but it can also lead to employment. And think about it also. Many of us that we go into the labor market, we're only going there to pitch ourselves and to basically present our certificates, thinking that, okay, our degree certificate is enough to get us the job. But right now, even in Tongston, we see that it's beyond that. You need to think beyond just presenting your certificate. You also need to think of how you can be value adding to what the products, the brand, and also the business side of your employer is. So this is what it means to be entrepreneurial as an employee, and I hope this has demystified or helped give better clearance when we say what entrepreneurial thinking is. Now, on the side of sustainable socioeconomic development, this is best achieved in 4 forms, basically. First, personal development. What that means is that anything you do, whether as an employee or as an owner of a company or even as government, it should improve the personal development of citizens or the people that you serve. Now, personal development has 5 aspects of it: physical, material, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual. All of this must be the benefit or outcome of you going through any education or any business or any product or services that you buy. If you think about it, these are the different things that we are really trying to serve for ourselves. So that is personal development. It needs to also achieve sociocultural development. What this means is basically an appreciation of diversity around the world, wherever you exist in. So diversity of culture, diversity of tribe, religion, even these days, diversity of gender and sex is also existing right now. So the tolerance and appreciation of it also needs to be achieved for sociocultural development to be achieved. That's number 2. Number 3, economic development. And economic development not just on the side of government, but also on the side of private sector and non-profit sectors. So many people think when you say NGO or non-profit, it means you don't really care about making money. You do have to make money to run it. It just means that either the money is coming from donors or from governments, or it's being generated from services that don't require the sharing of dividends basically at the end of the financial year. So money is still important. So that is why I said economic development, whether it's on the space of private sector, public sector, or even non-governmental or non-profit organizations, still is very important to achieve economic development. Then finally, sustainable development. Now, sustainable development is very tied to the 17 SDGs. So as much as possible, what we do or what we serve must bring us closer to achieve those 17 SDG goals. So this is how we look at sustainable socioeconomic development from the perspective of Tongston. And even if we think about it really, whether we're people, organizations, or societies, we constantly will be challenged socially and economically, because it is a socioeconomic world that we live in. And so these are going to be the true test of life. So our ability, whether as people, organizations, or societies, to survive and thrive those social and economic challenges is what will really almost kind of give us a sense of success, happiness, and fulfillment. So it's important that all of those attributes are achieved. Let me conclude my talk, because I have another section, obviously, in the afternoon to describe the model of the entrepreneurial thinking and socioeconomic development and how to key into it from all of your different realms of work. At this moment, I want to talk about T's, especially why you are here and also why we are having this event. This is the second of it, actually. Last year, we had the first of it in Gombe, which we called the Tongston Showcase. This is the second of it, which we are calling the Entrepreneurial Education Summit. It's 3 days, by the way. Today, you are here in person. Tomorrow and next tomorrow is virtual. And the reason why we wanted to do this and invite you from all the different sectors that you exist in and different industries is so that we that are in the practice of industries and in education, in business, in media, in finance, we can really know what's important as far as our growth or as a society is concerned.